Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. This is Webster Tarpley here in Washington, D.C. Now, as we mentioned, Obama's approval rating now drifting more and more into this negative territory, and we've had this very strange attack from Gibbs, the White House spokesman, on the professional left. In other words, Obama's own base, the people who put Obama where he is, without whom he never would have gotten anywhere. They need to be drug tested because they keep saying that Obama is following Bush policies. Well, I'm afraid we look at Afghanistan and Iraq. He's got, I think, more combat forces in the field right now than Bush ever did. And if we get the attack on Iran, remember, all the stories now are that Bush considered an attack on Iran but said, no, I'm not going to do it. So if Obama does it one way or another, he will be, for all history, branded as worse than Bush. So that brings up the question, what are you going to do about it? And one of the main fronts is this question of, is Obama legally the president at all? So for that, we want to go to our friend, Phil Berg in Philadelphia. Welcome, Phil.
My pleasure. I don't know if you saw my last press release that went out, but I made comments of why Michelle Obama took her big trip to Spain, and I think she took her big trip to Spain because she knows her time is short in the White House, and she might as well do what she can because, as you state, the poll numbers are dropping on Obama, and more people are coming out questioning where he's from and what he's about, and I really think that we're going to force him out of office. My March is still working on. We've had some internal problems here. We're working on the date. I don't have it yet. I'll have it any day now. It looks like we're doing it in October, everyone, and we're getting a good response from people. We're mentioning on our website that we're having it. Just bear with us a little longer. I think that the closer we get to Election Day, we're trying to do it. It will help us because it's a controlling issue here, and Obama, I really think, I think his days are numbered legally. You want to be careful on that, and we're going to force him legally out of office and force him to resign. And I don't know your spin on that, why, but that's why I think Michelle took her little gaunt here with 40 of her closest friends.
Well, others say it was a marital dispute, that she's not happy with his, let's say, his extramarital activities, and therefore she stormed off on his birthday, and also she wanted to embarrass him because it obviously was a great embarrassment for her to be meeting with these jet-setters and rich parasites when the Obama line now for the autumn is going to be, give up your Social Security, give up your Medicare, and suffer for the benefit of Wall Street bailouts, because that's what he does.
That could be too, but you're right. I mean, here he goes to Chicago by himself, and his wife and daughter are over in Spain on his birthday. So it could be some discontent. Maybe it'll be Michelle Obama who will open up on him. I doubt that, but someone's going to be the deep throat. Someone's going to really give us the whole goods. I just got a telephone call from someone who states he's going to give me a document showing that he has documentation that Obama signed a document relinquishing his American citizenship. So they said they have it. They're going to send it to me. So, you never know when the call comes in, but I'm waiting for that document because that would be amazing if we could really get that document, which would be, legitimate. So,
now, Phil, I have to ask you another one. Last night, I guess it was on MSNBC, Rachel Maddow made a big thing about Orly Tates. Orly Tates is trying to get this $20,000 fine lifted, and she tried to get it. She's taken it to the Supreme Court. She tried Clarence Thomas. He said, no, we won't consider it. And then she went to Sam Alito, and Alito says, yes, I'll help you to get this considered, so we'll send it around to the other justices. What do you make of that?
Well, first off, I make anything Orly says, you have to read between the lines, because that's not what Alito said. What happens is, after you're turned down by one justice, and you go to another justice, just to basically bring the matter to a head, it's normal that they submit it to the entire court for a conference. And I assure you at the conference, it's not going to be, I cannot believe the Supreme Court will even touch it, because the $20,000 by, I think it was Judge Land in Atlanta, he gave her opportunity, and he really wrote a chastising opinion of why the sanctions should be imposed against her. So I don't think Alito's doing anything. He's not doing anything special for her, no matter whatever Rachel Maddow said. The only thing he's going to do is they're going to get it to a conference, and then it's going to be, I assure you, voted down because they're not going to hear that case. I mean, they get thousands of requests for cases every year, and that case, I assure you, will not be heard by the Supreme Court.
All right, we maybe a minute or two left. What is the court calendar? What's your docket looking forward? I mean, is there anything out there that we can?
Well, we don't have a date. My big case, and I think it's. I really think if the court gives it, if the justices have any kind of sense of civility and any kind of sense of justice, they should hear my case. And this is a case that's in the D.C. Court of Appeals. And the reason it's there is because the lower court knocked it out, saying it was frivolous, and the three-judge panel at the Court of Appeals affirmed the lower court. So now we've asked for a review by the entire court, and that's all the 19 justices, I think there are, of the D.C. Court of Appeals. And that's on my case, the Qui Tam or False Claims Act case. First off, the person bringing that case, in this instance myself, has already been declared to have standing to bring this type of case. And that's the issue we get knocked out in all these other cases. And the issue really is, what is Obama's status? I raised the issue that he is not only not natural born, he's not naturalized, but he's an illegal alien. Therefore, his term as United States Senator was fraudulent. His salary and benefits totaling $1 million should be returned to the U.S. Treasury. I mean, I really think it's a case that they should take a look at. So we're waiting on the D.C. Court of Appeals. Who knows when they'll decide the case. I think they should give us an opportunity for oral argument. If it is, we would have an amazing coverage. That's the thing against us because they've basically been covering for Obama. But now that Obama's dropping in the polls, we're hoping. But if not, we will take the case up to the Supreme Court of the United States, and hopefully they will hear it. Obama, at this point, it's really absurd. What's the latest numbers you have on his disapproval or approval right now?
One of them is down to 41% approve.
Wow. Okay.
And the story is that if he goes below 40% in a consensus of polls, then he will have a challenger, right? Governor Rendell has said Obama is likely to have a significant primary challenger. I've seen right-wing columnists speculating that Hillary Clinton, if he goes below 40, Hillary Clinton will be the challenger. She can say, I can do all this, but I'm competent and not incompetent and not a bungler like Obama.
Well, that will be interesting, but my goal is to have him out of office before 2012, and I'm going to continue my efforts out there to have him removed from office. The only way to do it, because, listen, you really can't impeach him as far as I'm concerned because he's a usurper. He's not a valid president. But the way to do it is to put enough pressure on to force him to resign. And as his poll numbers drop and as people look more into him, whatever your issue is, if it's Obamacare, if it's taxation, whatever the issue is, the controlling issue is the fact that he's an imposter, and therefore he shouldn't be president, and therefore everything that he's done, all the laws he's signed, everything he's done would become voidable. And that's really crucial for everyone out there because whatever your issue, it really falls under my issue. It's not my issue. It's our issue for all the 308 million people in this country who deserve to know the truth. And we're going to continue this effort. And then stay tuned to my website, obamacrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com, obamacrimes.com. We've had 3 or 4 releases in the past week. We're going to continue to put out press releases, and we're going to have a big, as soon as we have the date for the march, we're going to go on every radio show we can possibly do, not just yours, Webster, which we, of course, will be on, because it's my pleasure to be on there weekly.
Well, we've got, this is the low point of the news year in Europe, right? It's basically August 15th. It's a great time to get that story out in some other parts of the world where the news desks are looking around for something. We'll see if we can send some of those releases to Europe.
Yeah, I told people I'll be at the October 28th Glenn Beck, and the British Broadcasting Company called me, and they're going to film me there.
Great. We'll see you next week, Phil.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a second.